Yo, what is up everyone? Jay here with another Fire Emblem Heroes reaction video to this month's legendary hero that has just been revealed, and it is Myrrh. So Myrrh is finally getting her chance. MYRRBIUS, if you guys know the Morbius memes. I was joking that I wanted it to be Morbius, and it ended up kind of being it because it's MYRRBIUS. So sorry if you guys are annoyed by that, but I think the Morbius memes are hilarious. But it is Myrrh, and I'm glad that she's getting her legendary version finally. You know, I think it was kind of expected because we had Faye and we've had Tiki already, so Myrrh is the next dragon down the line to get her legendary. And if you guys have played Sacred Stones, you guys know why she's worthy of one. She's a great dragon. She was one of the dragons who defeated Formordis, whatever you pronounce his name, the boss of Sacred Stones the first time. So she's definitely worthy of legendary status. So I don't want to hear people saying that she doesn't deserve one, because she definitely does. And also the fact that we're at this point in Fae where a lot of the obvious, the main lords are all taken already. So it is Myrrh's turn. So she is here as a wind blue flying dragon, of course, because every Myrrh has to be flying, of course, because she's a flying Manakete. And she's voiced by the great Erica Lindbeck. And every time I hearing this voice line, I just hear Jessie from Final Fantasy VII Remake, one of my favorite characters from there. But anyway, so this is Myrrh's kit. So Godly Breath. This gives her -1 cooldown, and if she initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, she inflicts -5 to everything on the foe, which is basically +5 to her, and then reduces damage attacks during combat. So 30% flat damage reduction without any kind of stat check. So that's pretty nice, similar to not Halloween Myrrh. Is it Halloween Myrrh? No, Spring Myrrh. Sorry, Spring Myrrh. And that's pretty nice. And then she also makes a guaranteed follow-up, so she doesn't have to run QR, she doesn't have to run Dragon's Ire, so that's really good. And of course the adaptive damage comes with Bonfire, Defense Res Unity, which is a very good unity skill for a lot of save tanks and units in general that want to be really bulky. And I'm kind of surprised it took this long to get Defense Res Unity, so that is going to be nice fodder for people looking for that. Dragon Wall to have even more damage reduction, and then Darkling Guardian. So this is the thing that's going to make her rather unique, giving her a niche similar to Gatekeeper, because she's kind of like a dragon Gatekeeper with the skill, because this gives them the ability, the warp bubble ability, so they can't, no foes can warp into spaces within 4 spaces of her, so that is really good. Of course it doesn't affect pass or warp effects in rival domains and stuff, which, you know, is not really going to matter that much because who uses pass in the B slot. So Darkling Guardian, and also gives the defense res +6 at the start of turn, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack. So that's going to be really good. It's just going to help her become even more bulky and even harder to take down. And I think this warp bubble effect is really just to sell the fact that Myrrh is a giant fortress of a unit, because she's really bulky, she has a lot of stats, and she's a huge dragon, a great dragon. So that is basically Myrrh's kit. It's very self-explanatory, and a lot, just like with Faye, it's very simple. Nothing super duper crazy. I think she's very solid, of course. But nothing like game breaking or anything. But yeah, and a blue flying dragon, we don't have many of those either, so that's going to be really good. And blue, this banner is really stacked, and if you guys know me, I'm going to be going on this banner to summon on blues because I'm trying to finish Legendary Sheeta, so that's going to be fun. I hope I can get some Myrrhs, maybe 1 or 2 Myrrhs, maybe, if I don't get Sheeta. So there's her dragon. Look at her dragon model this time. Her Manakete model is like extra glowy. That's just super cool. I like that a lot. And there she is paired up with Ephraim, and I really liked her relationship with Ephraim in Sacred Stones. That was adorable. Honestly, Myrrh is probably one of my favorite younger dragon characters in Fire Emblem. I don't really like Naui. Faye is okay, I guess, but I like Myrrh a lot. Besides Tiki, of course, but Tiki's default because I love Arcanea. But besides Tiki, Myrrh is my favorite one. So let's go into the rest of the units on the banner. We have Legendary Eliwood, who is still pretty good because bonus doubler can be annoying to deal with. You have Bramamon, one of the 8 legends. You have Legendary Edelgard, who's okay. Legendary Claude is one of the best units. Dagger, who's alright. Legendary Byleth, who's great. Priam, who's Priam's not the greatest. Legendary Female Byleth, sorry, I should have said Legendary Male Byleth. Ascended Joshua, who's really good. Nimi, Legendary Sheeta, who I'm going for. And that's the banner. So, yeah, blue is pretty stacked because you have Legendary Sheeta, who's a great unit. Great budget unit. You can have 1 copy of her, and she's a great armor and cavalry check. She can also be a good Gale Forcer as well. I have a Heavy Blade Gale Force build on mine. And then you have Myrrh, of course, who's the new unit. You have Legendary Female Byleth, who's pretty good. and pretty good support unit and unit herself. I'm not looking to get merges on her, but if I get a couple copies of her, it'd be nice to have attack speed ideal, because that's good fodder, and Rupture Sky as well. And so blue is pretty stacked. I'd say it's definitely one of the best colors here. Red is kind of a dud because you have Niemi, who's a solid unit, but she's not like that sought after of a unit, you know. Priam, who's like basically worse. Like when he came out in the banner, he's like worse than Yanfei, and Yanfei was free. I mean, he has decent fodder. I think he has Rouse, like a Rouse 4 skill, I think. No follow up, I think, and something else. I think I don't remember exactly what skills he had, but he has pretty good fodder. He's not a completely bad unit, of course. It's just he doesn't really have anything super crazy, so that's Priam. And Legendary Eliwood, of course, who might eventually get a remix and refined soon. I think it could be a couple more months, but he's definitely in the waiting room. So red is kind of a dud. It's probably the worst one here. Green, you have Legendary Edelgard. Green might green's good because it has Legendary Male Byleth, so I can't say it's worse than red. Red's definitely the worst. So green, you have Legendary Edelgard, who's not the greatest. She's outclassed by a lot of other axe armors, but she has the Raging Storm, so she can have that double Gale Force action. Moving again twice. You have Dagger, who's pretty solid light mythic, even though light mythics are pretty competitive because you have Peony, you have Ash now, Air, who's got a remix and refine. So Dagger has a lot of competition in her mythic role, but she can be a pretty good axe infantry unit. And then you have Legendary Male Byleth, who's one of the best green mages in the game because of Sublime Heaven and having the speed-based no follow-up support. So he's really good. So green is pretty solid, mostly because Legendary Byleth's there. I mean, if you want a Dagger and Edelgard merges, that's good for them. Good for you if you want to go for green. And Dagger's fodder is still pretty good, even though it's not anything super crazy. I mean, it's attack speed push 4, who's on 1,000,000 units. And then colorless, we have Ascended Joshua, who's an amazing unit in my opinion. I think he's kind of underrated, to be honest. I think he's like the second or third best Dagger infantry unit in the game. Of course, after Yuri, who's obviously the best one. And then you have Bramamon, who, he's not as good as he used to be because units are getting bulkier, but he's still pretty good because he has he's got Impenetrable Dark, which is still pretty good. And he can still hit pretty hard, like he can definitely snipe some things, Wings of Mercy and whatnot. He's a solid unit. And colorless mages, even though we're getting more of them, they're not that common. Not yet, anyway. And then Legendary Claude, who's one of the best legendary heroes in period because of Fallen Star and his no follow-up weapon. So colorless is probably the best color next to blue, and then green, and then red. So that is my rankings of the colors. So yeah, overall this banner is alright. It's nothing super duper crazy. I think it's going to be skippable for a lot of people for a couple of reasons. One, like I mentioned with the colors, there's not many, like some of the units aren't the greatest or most popular units that people want to go for, like Priam and Niemi and Legendary Edelgard and Legendary Eliwood, who could be a dud. So that's one reason. Also the fact that there isn't that many mythics here. There's only 2. There's only Dagger and Bramamon. So for Aether Raids people and people who go hardcore in that mode, because Aether Raids arguably is the mode that has the most hardcore players, I'd say. You're not going to be able to really get mythic merges here because there's only 2 of them. But for legendary merges, for arena and stuff, if you want to go for it, you can definitely get merges here. But like I said, there is a couple duds. So that's another reason. And also the fact that the summer banners are coming up, which is very exciting. I love summer banners. Every time they come out every year, it's pretty exciting to see, even though nothing will top Summer Lind because she already got hers 4 years ago. And I can't believe it's been 4 years, jeez. But, she got her summer version, which was so exciting back in the day. So nothing can really top that for me because she's my favorite Fire Emblem girl. But, it's still exciting to see people get their favorite heroes in swimsuits and going out on the beach and stuff. So hopefully this year doesn't have another character that I really like. But like I said, it's going to be hard to top Lind because maybe May, if she gets one, but I doubt it because they continue to ignore May, my other second favorite mage in Fire Emblem. So I doubt she'll get a summer version, but maybe, because I feel like Shadows of Valentia definitely deserves some summer alts. So I mentioned that because Summer Sheet is coming up, and I'm trying to plus 10 her as well, because she is another favorite Fire Emblem character of mine. So hoping I can get out of this legendary banner unscathed, relatively unscathed, because Summer Sheet is returning sometime in either late June or early July, I think. Somewhere around there, so it's coming up. So hopefully I can get Legendary Sheeta here to plus 10 without much dent in the orb wallet, because I have around 900 orbs right now, and if I can get out of here with it's going to be hard, of course, because the odds are against me in color sharing, but if I can get out of here with minimum 300 orbs or around that amount when I summon for the merges for the last 3, because she's +7 right now. That would be good. I would take that, and then it'd give me like another month to save. So hopefully that goes according to plan. But legendary banners and mythic banners, they're often a hit or a miss, so it can be quite the roller coaster. So gonna be sniping on blue. I'm gonna be making a summoning video for that, so look out for that. And that should be fun, because even if I don't get Sheeta, I do get good fodder, because blue is pretty stacked. You have legendary Byleth, who I want the least, but she still has good fodder, Rupture Sky, and attack speed ideal 4. And she's also a solid unit. And then Myrrh, I would really like to get Myrrh, because I do like Myrrh a lot. Like I mentioned, I do like her relationship with Ephraim and Sacred Stones is really cute. And I'm glad she got her legendary, because her art is really cute, especially her default art. I like the artist who did it, and of course, voiced by the great Erica Lindbeck. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts on the legendary Myrrh banner. We're getting another legendary next month in June, which is pretty weird, because there's more mythic options than there are legendary options at this point. So I don't know why they keep doing 2 legendaries in a row. They did that earlier, so I don't know why they're doing it again. But it is what it is, so I guess that's what they want to do. So I'm going to be interested to see what legendary will be next month. Maybe it'll be Xander finally, who knows? Because we are running low on options. But yeah. So that's my thoughts on the banners, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. And if you do, comment, and leave a like if you enjoyed listening to me ramble, and subscribe if you want to hear me ramble and talk and react and mispronounce Impenetrable Dark in FEH videos and stuff. And I do post summoning videos, like I mentioned earlier. I'm going to be summoning for Sheeta, so hopefully I can get her +10 there. So that should be fun. So yeah, I appreciate all the support, guys. Please stay safe out there, and peace out.